Hey everybody and welcome back. Today I have another art journal spread and I'm starting with my handmade washi tapes again this time, and I'm using different ones. Here I have the two vintage ones that I made in the recent video, and I will link that up in the video description so you can check out how I made these. I'm also going to use some of the more colorful ones, and I'm just tearing them. Usually washi tape is a bit smaller than these big tapes, but you can always just cut them with a scissors in half once you're using them. There is this kind of tape is available in a smaller version, but I think it's too much work to print that and to stamp it, so I go for the wider one. Because there is some water activated glue on the back, it's very easy to stick everything down. Just use water with your brush and then adhere the pieces, and I'm going to speed up this part because it's just sticking down the tape. Once I have glued down all the pieces that I want, I'm going to cover the whole spread with a layer of clear gesso. The journal that I'm working in is from Action. It's a cheap store that carries all kind of stuff here in Europe, and they also have a lot of craft supplies and this art journal, and I really love it, and I think it's under €3, and the paper is around 200 GSM. It's not a super quality paper, of course not, but for mixed media with collage, and when you put down gesso anyway, it's just perfect. And I love that it opens completely flat, and I also love the format of it. Once the gesso is dry, I'm going on top with the Neocolors, and I picked colors that are matching the focal image I wanted to use on this page. It's another one from the embellishment pieces I made in one of my recent videos, and I picked this color palette to work over the top of this page. I'm starting out with the green shades, and I love that the Neocolors are opaque like a gouache paint, so they are covering up some of the washi I've adhered, so it's not so intense anymore, but it will still shine through the Neocolors in most of the areas, and that's what I really like about them. As I'm working with complementaries, red and green, I try to keep them separated so they don't mix too much, because they will create a muddy color, and I want to have bright and bold colors, so I am very careful by adding them. And I'm starting with the green and a bit of blue tones, and once this is dry, I'm going in with a little bit of orange and red. There is some kind of coral red I feel on that embellishment, and I really love the color combo together with the green and the touch of blue. The Neocolor II are water soluble, and I'm mixing them with water on my spread. If you don't have Neocolors, you can use the Stabilo Woodies in a similar way. I'm not a big fan of them because they don't have as much material as the Neocolors, but they are not cheaper, and also they don't come in that big range of color. What I also like, what you could do, in case you have too much color on your page, you can always remove it with a wet wipe. By the way, it's also a nice idea to let this dry and then lay a stencil on top and remove some of the Neocolor through the stencil. I quickly dried that with my heat tool, and now I'm going in with the warm colors, with the orange and the coral red. I think it's not called coral red. I don't know which color name that is, but it looks a bit like a coral red. And here I am very careful not to mix it too much because I don't want to create a brown. I would like to have the green and the red quite visible. As always, I'm going to link up all the products and stamps I'm using today in the video description. And you will also find a link to the blog post where you can have a look at the close-up images of this spread. And if you are enjoying the video, it would be really nice if you can give it a thumbs up because it helps my channel. And it's always nice to get a lovely comment. I'm scribbling the Neocolor to my glass plate and spritz it with water so I get some liquid paint and I can make some splatters with that. And I'm doing the same with the orange. As my orange was quite dark, I decided to pick a lighter one and mix it to that, so it gets a bit more opaque, hopefully. I let everything dry and now I'm going in with a white Neocolor to bring in some highlights and to increase the contrast of the background. I just make some dry marks with it on the page. I'm also using a pinkish Neocolor for even more marks. I'm laying my focal image onto the page to see if I am missing something or if I want to change something and where I want to add some marks. And I don't like that butterfly that sits directly over the top of the focal image. So I am going to remove it by covering it up. And I also want to make some marks with the orange directly on the page to just bring that in around the embellishment. I'm picking a coral pink Neocolor and make some more marks because it's more opaque and lighter than the orange. It pops up a bit more. It's important not to cover the whole page with these marks. I try to keep them in a cluster on the right corner and up on the left. So it's like two players on a field, I would say, and I am definitely keeping that white space as to balance that out, that the tons of marks and the things that are going on. Here I'm going in with a gouache stick, and I covered up that butterfly because I just did not like it at the place where it was sitting. And I'm also going in and lighten up some of the areas around my circular shape. I'm going in with some different colors of the gouache sticks because I really like the texture they make on this spread, and I think it's a very quick way to add marks and color to a spread, and that bold reddish orange is perfect for my embellishment. I felt that I needed something against my focal image on the left top just to balance it out, and I had another one of these embellishments with similar colors with that little heart, and it doesn't look good if you put the whole circle on the page, I feel, but I think about adding it to the edge and just cutting it off and letting it sit there, and I think that was the perfect match for the big embellishment of the spread. I'm going to adhere both of the pieces with some wet glue. I'm using that glue pen from Craftelier. Love it, used it a lot already. I think it's refillable. It looks like it is because you can open it and the glue looks similar to a normal glue. And I have their techie glue here, so I think I could just refill this pen. And I prefer this pen against any bigger glue tube. It's really nice to use. There are some white marks on my focal image, which by the way uses a stamp from our Doodle Flowers #2 stamp set. And there are some white dots, and I just thought I would bring in these white dots to the page a little bit, just a few of them with a white Posca paint pen. Yeah, and that's my finished page. I hope you like it and you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to jump over to the blog and have a look at the photos. I hope we will see us next time, and I wish you a lovely rest of the day. Bye.